The leadership tussle rocking the Lagos State chapter of the Labour Party may have come to an end with the declaration of a new caretaker committee headed by Oluwatoyin Shokunbi. Before now, chairman of the party in the state, Olukayode Salako, had declared he was stepping down to concentrate on his ambition to represent Oshodi Solo constituency at the Federal House of Representatives. He reportedly handed over to a member of the party, Dayo Ekong.
That it goes to the second phase of implementing the all-inclusive. Don't forget, I told you before, there are 6 stakeholders in Labour Party in Lagos State. There are 6 stakeholders. And we want an all-inclusive democratic caretaker committee agreed upon by all these stakeholders on the Labour Party chapter. This will deepen the democratic ideals that Labour Party stands for. This is our demand. This is what we want. Yes. This is the confidence we require from him. Yes. This is what we are hoping the national leadership will do. Yes. And we are waiting. Yes. But we are not stopping what we are doing. We are in the grassroots. We are in the 20 local governments of Lagos State. We are in the markets. We are in the mosques. We are in the churches. We are in the schools. We are everywhere, and we know that he will do the right thing by us.
All right, the National Secretary of the Labour Party, Farouk, joins us now from Kaduna, as well as Arise Analyst, Associate Professor of Law, Sam Amadi. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining us. Let's begin from Kaduna, where the National Secretary of the Labour Party is Farouk. What is going on? We thought Labour Party is the baby of organized labor in Nigeria. Is there a division in the ranks of Labour for the party to have endorsed another party or candidates of another party? Farouk?
Good evening, Mr. Chris. And I also thank you very much for having me. We are very, very good to go, and it's a sign of success and progress. And I want to assure you, like you've heard from the last speaker, Labour Party is intact. We are putting our head together to bring our ranks and files to ensure that we succeed and we win this election. The NLC, the Labour Party, had any issue with the NLC. NLC is our parent organization, and they have vehemently and overwhelmingly endorsed the candidature of our presidential candidate, Peter Obi. We had in June, precisely June 16, 2022, the presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, was at the NLC Secretariat, where he addressed the joint Congress of the entire Nigerian Labour Congress. And in that meeting, the president of the Labour NLC, Dr. Wabara, he has come out and solicit for the support of all the state chapters of the NLC, presenting and endorsing the candidature of Peter Obi. From there, on the same day, we went to the secretariat of the TUC, and the then TUC president, also the entire organs of the TUC endorsed the presidency and the candidature of the Labour Party candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. And we had in September, precisely 13 September 2022, had a retreat with the NLC, a joint retreat with the NLC and the TUC and the Labour Party state escorts.
All right, Mr. Farouk, we get your point. You're saying that the Labour Party and the Labour unions do not have division, they do not have a problem. So, in other words, you seem surprised that the unions in Lagos have now endorsed the candidates of APC at the presidential and state level. I hope that's what you're trying to say in all of this because of time. I need to bring in Dr. Sam Amadi into this conversation. Dr. Amadi, what do you think is going on here? Should we be questioning the quality of endorsement we are getting?
Well, first, let's start with the point that Labour Union, before now, had issues with the party, the Labour Party, clearly. Mr. P2B's presence seemed to have brought them together. I was invited by the Labour Union itself to address one of those joint sessions where the TUC, the NLC, and the Labour Party were together on issue of ideology and principles. But see, those tensions still exist. Again, you talk about questioning the value of endorsement. If you look at the experience from the US, where Affiliation, usually does a national endorsement and affiliate unions sometimes do different endorsement, you discover that endorsements oftentimes in Nigeria is elite or the executives themselves, and they don't have coordination with the grassroots, the members. Again, NLC is very strong when it comes to trade union issues, but when it comes to political policy issues, they don't seem to have that capacity to align all their affiliates from the national to the state and under. So you might see that this endorsement is particularistic. They said, look, if you listen to the statement, they said, we're doing this for what Sayolu has done for us. He has been a very good, Labour-friendly government. And this is the first time they're doing that. They added on, we are going to also support the candidate on other kinds of APC. So you can say this is the APC state for long. Affiliations, don't forget that the chairperson is now a candidate who just handed over a candidate for federal office. So there's a historic affinity between the Labour movement in Lagos and the APC government in Lagos. And so you should take it with some kind of context that this is a local issue. And again, it speaks to the weakness in coordination of the Labour movement on policy issues. Strong on Labour financial, commercial issues about workers' welfare. They can drive everybody up. But when they have not been very, in the last 5-6 years, NLC and TUC has not been very strong in policy issues apart from classical Labour issues. That is payment salaries, minimum wage, maybe tariffs,
and maybe not removing a
subsidy. But when it comes to policy issues, like in the US, they always come because they support the Democrats, because they're going to probably offer better package in terms of social welfare. These endorsements are not articulate in those policy dimensions. They flow from affinity with the leaders and the person in power or some kind of circumstantial issue. So we can say that Labour Party from a national perspective is still working with the Labour Union, working with the Labour Party. But the Lagos NLC and TUC and other unions seem to have pulled away responding to local issues.
Well, okay, let me come back to you, Farouk, as the National Secretary of the Labour Party. Why has organized Labour not been campaigning with your party if there is that cohesion? And secondly, the question I asked, if there is cohesion, why is the Lagos chapter, Nigerian Labour Congress, TUC, and other Labour unions endorsing a candidate or candidates outside your own candidates?
Well, you see, the organized Labour congresses are actually campaigning for the Labour Party, and they are being involved in our campaigns. If you go through the yesterday's campaign in Enugu, the Secretary General of the NLC was there, live with us. And I can assure you, more open this organized labor, and the TUC president, the immediate past president of the TUC, is a director in the Presidential Campaign Council, and we go anywhere we're going, we go with them. And don't forget that. You see, the NLC are civil servants. You see, there is we have had a lot of serious intimidation. There is no time the Nigerian civil servant have faced intimidation than in this regime. So many coercion, intimidation. And you see, the Lagos State, of course, they have to queue. Only God knows what happened. But I can cite an example. In Kaduna, we have had a situation whereby the governor of Kaduna sent an arrest warrant and declare the NLC president wanted in Kaduna, just because they wake up and then fought and protest against the impunity and the illegal sacking of teachers in Kaduna and workers in Kaduna. So you see, NLC and the organized labor union, because of the suppression and oppression of the present regime, they have to be very careful and tactical. And we can assure you that we are having a serious and organized support of these members of these unions. We are working with them at the state level, we are working with them at the local government levels, and they are supporting us, themselves and their family, and that is why we are very, very confident in winning this election. And that is why you're saying the structure that they are saying we don't have, when we look at what we have in various local governments and all the places that where the labor unions and labor organizations exist, we are very, very much comfortable. Lagos State chapter of the NLC, they can go ahead and do that. But you remember, in Rivers, the NLC chairperson of Rivers State is the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party. So you can see there is this harmony and there is this close relationship and understanding in our working and in our campaign.
All right, that's left to be seen in Lagos State. Dr. Sam Amadi, he did raise an issue of under what circumstances this trade going on? Is it for better wages, votes for better wages, or intimidation, in his own words? He says, we don't know what happened in Lagos. So under what circumstances is this likely to happen? Is that something we should be questioning?
Yeah, if you look at the Federal Electoral Commission, the US, I mean, the conditions are very clear for endorsement. So endorsements must be done by the labor union. They issue through their newsletter. They try to insulate a situation where they don't have to go to the government. They can negotiate, talk to different people, but when they want to make endorsement, it has to be voluntary. It has to be endorsement that flows from their own appraisal of their policy and the person who can deliver. But here, there's too much commingling. So, like you said, it could be intimidation, it could be persuasion, it could be seduction. But what is clear is that the labor union, the organized labor union, does not have full control of their affiliates in terms of protocol, who they pledge support for. We've seen Rivers State pledge support for the Labour Party. We've seen across, but we've seen Lagos now, isolated case, say, look, we go with APC. So it could be because they don't have the control. And again, this is clear. NLC has not been they are a little bit conflicted. They have not been very coherent in their political stand prior to this moment with Labour Party. In fact, P2B seemed to have been the thing that brought them together. In the past, they have looted, one could argue, the Labour Party. Now they are embracing it, but that embrace has not been wholesome and comprehensive. And maybe going down the line, we'll see all the states put together in subsequent election. For now, -1, but plus 36 or 35, as the case may be.
Well, I know Farouk too is laughing. They won't want to accept that. But well, that's so we're going to, drop the anchor here. Umar Farouk, the National Secretary of the Labour Party, joined us from Kaduna, and the RISE analyst and human rights lawyer, Dr. Sam Amadi. Thanks, gentlemen, for being part of Newsnight.
Thank you very much.